Welcome to the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast. My name is Chip Washington, self-appointed Bison basketball fanatic.
What's up, Bison Nation? This is your boy B Smooth. You know how we do. Repping Howard University, the Mecca, the real HU.
How y'all doing? This is Eric T. Washington E. Wash, lover of all things hoop and consigliere.
I love that. I love that, man. Welcome back to the Bison Brothers Podcast. Bison Basketball Brothers Podcast. We definitely are trying to make sure we keep the fanaticism going. We're actually halfway through our non-conference schedule, and we thought we'd do a special episode today, right, fellas? We want to see if we can get excited not only about what's coming in the next few weeks, but also maybe what's coming next season. We got some exciting signees that have decided to make the Mecca, the real HU, their next destination. So before we jump into that, though, I wanted to let Chip let us know why we do what we do, man. Why are we doing this, Chip?
Well, no doubt to get these signees here, we need everybody to continue to donate to the Mecca Society, Howard's Name, Image, and Likeness NIL Collective, because that's how we're going to keep getting these awesome players to come to the Howard basketball program. So go to the meccasociety.org. You can go to hubison.com, donate to the university athletic department, and just keep this championship culture growing, keep the dream factory going, and just remember to continue to subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast, like the podcast, comment on the podcast, give it all to us. And so we can keep this program growing and just be fans to infinity and just make it happen.
I love it. I love it. So today, as we tease out in the opening here, we're going to spend a little bit of time learning about some of the recent signees for our men and women's programs. We'll probably start with the women today just because we have some exciting things there. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about them, see what we know about them, and then we're going to dare to dream. I know E. Wash tends to tell us what's good for basketball, and we'll end with some special notes there. But while we do this episode, we're going to spend some quality time just trying to see how we can dream the possibilities because we want the program to flourish. And we'll wrap it up with some hopefully not so modest over and underreactions. As I said, we'll have a little bit of time with E. Wash giving us what's good for basketball, and then we'll close out today's episode. But sit back and relax after you hit the like button and subscribe button. And after the music, we'll get into it. Stay tuned. Hey, look at y'all ready to see the band, right? So shout out to the Showtime marching band at Howard University. When you go to the Burr and you play with all of us fans, that's what you get to hear as part of the atmosphere. Just a little bit of the atmosphere.
All right.
You like that, E? You like that?
Oh, I'm
That's
not
right.
mad at you. We love radio.
Why does everybody quote to do the right thing? I like that. That's one of my. Now the good news is we'll be able to talk about why there are brothers on the wall, so we can.
That's right. That's
talk
right.
about that.
That's what's up.
Some brothers and sisters on the wall. So guys, Chip. I know we've been looking forward to this episode because this is where again we get to dream a little bit and we get to hear and maybe understand a little bit behind some of the folks that are deciding to make Howard their next destination in their basketball playing careers. So I think we talked about starting with the women today. Let's see if we can start talking about it. You want to kick us off with just a little bit of background about some of the folks you've learned about, and we can
In,
maybe see what's going on there.
indeed. I think in the spirit of E-Wash and good for basketball, I'm gonna start with the shortest person
Oh,
coming
okay.
out of Chicago, Kenwood High School, home of
Chi-Town represent.
Southside,
Chi-Town,
baby.
Chi-Town represent. So we got 5'7" Ariel Hennigan,
Oh,
a starter for Kenwood. She had, just to give a little bit of background about her, she had 18 offers. She
Mm.
had 12
Okay.
offers by the end of her junior season.
Okay.
And in her junior season, she was an all-city player and led Kenwood in scoring uh, with an average of 18.2 and with assists an average of 4.5. And she had the highest free throw percentage at 81%.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh yeah.
she
Oh man.
competed in city championships every year that she was at Kenwood.
wow.
Say that again. City
All right.
championship
City championship.
competition every year that she was at Kenwood. So
Wow.
And
Wow.
as Chip knows, that's rarely schools from the South Side. So that's saying a lot. It's usually the West Side representatives who city
Wow.
championships in the public league. So that's saying
Wow.
something. That's
yeah,
saying something.
yeah.
That's saying something.
So I'm excited about her coming. She said she chose Howard because she was looking for a school with a good coaching staff and culture.
Mm.
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 And she was like, culture was a big deal, and Howard had a bunch of it, which we definitely know. So just excited about, being a Chi-Town person. I'm gonna be biased to, like I said, the fact that she was a championship quality player at Kenwood, that I was ready to go from the jump. But even looking at her videos, she's a kind of a ball hawk defensively.
Okay.
Anytime she was kind of around the ball, people just tend to lose the ball. And so, I'm excited about her energy. When you're short, you're almost automatically scrappy. So, seeing as we got scrappy players already on the squad, this is a welcome addition, to that scrappiness. And
Bruh. Oh man. Well, since you went on the Chicago rant like that for me, the first question I gotta ask you is she more like Mo Cheeks, D Rose, or Isaiah Thomas?
I
Wow.
would say from the video that I saw, I might give her more Isaiah Thomas.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we
Yeah.
need.
Wow. Wow.
So, and like I said, with her averaging 18, I mean, I definitely saw a bunch of outliers where she scored 35, multiple assists. Like I said, the steals. I was like, okay, all right. And kind of a small thing, I think, which I think is going to be cool for her as well, is she's got a teammate on the men's side. Our freshman Calvin Robbins went to Kenwood. So she's going to be able, she'll have a connect when she gets to campus, almost like a big brother,
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a welcome addition, and I'm excited to see her, on the court with our other guards, our other scrappy guards. We got Sanaya King, who's continuing to rack up the Rookie of the Week, stats in the MEAC. I think she'll be able to slide right in either with Sanaya or back up Sanaya. Like it's gonna be great.
I think Chip, the way you were able to take a look at her defensive prowess. I know we've talked about it in previous episodes. It sounds like Ty Grayson and the staff have a plan to bring in the most defensively minded players we could bring, because that's the identity we have to defense wins championships, right? So we want to have people who can get on the ball, and size is different because we're going against some pretty big guards these days. But if you can play ball, you can ball. That's just how it works. That's how it works. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we got Chicago represented. Anybody else out of Chicago you want to talk about, or do you want to move to the rest of the teams?
I guess we'll move to the rest of it.
You from Gary, man. We love you. We accept you, man.
I'm just saying, man. What I like is that we always seem to find somebody from Chicago. That's shout out to Chi-Town. That's one of my favorite spots. So I'm not mad at that at all. I'm just when I saw the rest of the signees, we're recruiting all over the country, so I'm loving that.
Yeah. Well, I got one more tie-in for Eric. As I was watching her highlights, and I think Eric appreciate this as a good for basketball. She had quite a few layups where she used both her right hand and her left hand and finished, just as good with either hand. And when you can, attack the basket going to the right or to the left, that's good for basketball.
You had me at hello.
So you're gonna have me on Netflix looking at movies from the 80s. I like that. That's good. So do we have any more guards that we're looking at, Chip?
Well, we could look at Emma. I'm gonna say Nukwe. I hope I said her name right. Emma Nukwe.
That's right.
Out of Maryland, 5'9", shooting guard and small forward is how they have her listed. In a very non-analytical assessment, she just looks like a baller. That's the best way I can describe it.
Oh, love the Captain Obvious.
Captain Obvious
looks like a it's like the Supreme Court said with pornography. You know it when you see it.
You know it when you see it.
But you know it when you see it. So when I was looking at Emma's highlights, she just looked like a baller. Ballers
you got B on the edit button now.
I'm just saying. Usually I have a quick comeback to shout out somebody, but I gotta fall back. I gotta fall back. So she's a baller. The question I have for you here, Chip. The question I have for you before you mention pornography again.
Shout out to OnlyFans. Shout out to OnlyFans.
Sponsors by any means necessary. Emma Nukwe, is she potentially, because you mentioned that she could play guard, maybe two guard, maybe, and is she gonna help us fill the gap? The Destiny How, maybe?
I saw where you were coming.
I'm just saying,
the street
brother.
Lights came on.
I'm just saying, just because that's when you hear that voice that you know it's meant for you.
Because my notes say her 3-point stroke looks confident. Wow. Like most of her highlights were her shooting the three, and she just it looked like that's her shot. Now we know Destiny is, high level.
She's high level,
crazy with it. But if I'm looking at Coach Grace and what she's working with here, I definitely could see Emma Nukwe being that 3-point specialist on the squad, opening up driving lanes, because you can't leave her with what I've seen on tape. You can't leave her if she's out by the 3-point line. You asking for it. So yeah, with King as the point guard, or maybe even Ariel, as the point guard, like driving the lane and kicking out, she gonna make you pay at the 3-point line. So, to me, it's like it gives us a backcourt where you're gonna have to respect both the mid range and the 3-point line. So like I said, it's a lot of pressure. You always hate. I think every basketball show, you hate to do the comparisons. You hate to say, "Oh, she looks like boom," or this, that, that. But like I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, wow, she might be the Destiny How replacement.
What?
I know.
I hate to do this, but my girlfriend always tell me that comparison is the thief of joy. So be careful.
we only doing it. It's the Captain Obvious. That's kind of, as fans, it's almost like automatic. You kind of
you got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah. But
shout out to your girl, E. Shout out to your girl. I see what you did there.
All right.
Baby, I met you on the podcast.
Points.
Talk about scoring from the 3-point line. He's throwing them up.
Hey, it's a thin line. It's a thin line, baby.
Yeah, he's scoring out here, boy. I'm not mad at you.
Hey,
My
set 'em
man.
up.
My man. Mr. Oop over here. Let's get it going. So, but that's awesome, man. So I'm excited already because you've already mentioned two pieces that probably give us a little bit more defensive identity and potentially allows us to start to reload where we tend to score. Most of our sets are run for the two guard to come off picks and obviously secondary breaks and be able to step out instead of going over to the bucket. But if she's a baller, I'm not mad at that. I'm loving that. And that size, 5'9", is the perfect size in the MEAC when it comes to handles. So if you can handle the ball, and she can get down low and stay out. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
So we got it.
I like that assessment B in terms of the height. I like
Yeah.
that for a lot of reasons. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, seeing some of the early season matchups now, there's only a handful of teams that are bigger than us. When you have 5'9", 5'10", and you can handle the rock, that's the great equalizer. That's how you catch people slipping. Because if you step out and hit the ball, you gotta pick a struggle. You either gotta come out here and get some of that, or are you gonna blow by them and be like, I wish you'd stay where you were. I love that. So we got two more ladies that decided to come along. Who's up next?
So I guess look, moving up the height range, and this might be one of my favorite new signees, and that's Jada Kendrick out of Georgia, Thompson, Georgia. 6 feet, 185 pounds. And when I tell you, when you look at her video, she is a people mover with guard skills.
Okay.
I mean, her offer, she had at least 6 schools that she, could have chosen from. It was Georgia State, Georgia Southern, William and Mary. Shout out to the L that we gave them.
All right.
Oh,
North. I know.
at least it's after the game this time. It's after the game.
So yeah, Northern Kentucky, Austin P, and Howard. And so she chose us, and
nice.
She's a banger. She is. Almost gives me kind of Anwar Gill vibes from a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Because her, 6 feet, but she moves really good. But like I said, with her frame, the post up is automatic. It's just she's gonna be punishing people down low. But like I said, she's got guard skills with that size. Like for me, it's almost kind of like a Marissa Steele clone with a little bit more offense. So I like how Marissa can get 100,000 boards and move people every time she gets in the game. I see kind of a similar thing with Jada, but with like a bit more offensive kind of skill set. So I'm really, really looking forward to. I kind of see her popping in like a Blake Harper or a Sanaya King. Like she's probably gonna have an impact right away.
Wow.
That's my guess coming on the squad. So,
and she's out of Georgia, right?
Yep, out of Georgia.
Yeah. I love that, man. You said people mover. I wrote that down. People mover. That might actually make it on a T-shirt. I'm just trying to see if I can get the rights to it before she gets here. But yeah, I like it. And 6 feet. That's that. That's that small forward. Big forward, small, big guard type of deal where you can change lineups. People have to choose who's gonna stick her. So I like that, man. So that leaves us with one more in height order. So she must be what, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3"?
Keep going.
6'4"?
6'4". Out of Hightstown, New Jersey. Penelope.
Shout out.
Swarm.
Okay.
Shout out to New Jersey.
Shout out. That's Central Jersey right there too. I love that.
Yeah. I definitely see her. She's the classic center. Especially on the defensive side. She had, quite a few games with double-digit rebounds. Just effortless. Moves well. I like, we're gonna need size in the MEAC. And so at 6'4", a depth around the rim, defensive stopper. I see nothing but positivity coming from this signing. So
I tell you what, this is so what I'm excited about is that it feels very much like Coach Ty Gray. Shout out Coach for having a strategy, right? So she's recruiting and getting signees that fit the culture that she's been building, this championship dog mentality culture, and getting folks who can play down low and on the front. This is awesome. This is awesome. Wash, what you got, man?
I got a question then for both of you guys.
Yeah.
What would you say the predominant style of play is that Coach Grace emphasizes? Fast break or half court?
Good question. I think my initial reaction just in watching the mix of the team we have this year, I think she prefers fast breaks when they're there because if they get the ball off a rebound, she's pushing the ball, and she sets up the secondary break so if somebody can't get to the bucket, there's usually somebody on the wing that can shoot the shot, Destiny
Okay.
or someone there. But when it's not there, she goes straight into a decent half court set. She likes to run action, run the shooters off the baseline, so they'll run off of the big folks, down low, so they can take a shot if they got it, and if not, they can dump it down low. Sometimes it doesn't always execute well because the hands aren't there. At least a couple of turnovers, but yeah, it's probably fast break first, secondary break, and then be able to have the ability to go, inside or out. And I think that's to what Chip's is describing now, especially with somebody like Jada Kendrick, somebody who can catch that ball and move and do things. It changes the math because now you can't load up on one shooter. I mean, that's sometimes what happens today. So, these folks give us some flexibility to run that same type of style
That's
offense.
what I'm looking
And
for right there, brother. Okay.
yep.
What about you, Chip?
and also, if I had to do kind of another projection with Jada, and this kind of goes back to one of the games that we saw where I can't remember it was the young lady that was 6'2", but she abused us in the post. I think it was like a Maya.
ECU. The
Yeah, from
ECU
East
game.
Carolina. I could see Jada Kendrick being that for us. So, hey,
Oof.
if that same young lady is at East Carolina and we got them again in non-conference, okay, I want a rematch.
I want to see what's going on there.
There go the bulletin
Yeah.
board again, and she ain't even got there yet.
Smoked.
Shout out to Greenville, North Carolina. Shout out. Some got some good people out of that area, man. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So that's a pretty. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it was maybe our second episode, one of the overreactions or underreactions, where I was a little worried about the turnover with the women's program and how we were gonna do. But I guess in the words of Stringer Bell from The Wire, Coach Gray said, "I need you to tell everybody we back up." Tell everybody we back up.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
is
Yeah.
I always love a
reloading.
Wire reference.
That's it. That's it.
So, Coach Grace, I see you. I'm gonna shut up. You have definitely re-upped with these signings, and I think the whole Bison Nation is gonna be excited to watch this new crop come in and do what they do.
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. And like I said, the possibilities seem endless when you bring pieces in that fit the culture you're building. And I'm just amazed that Sanaya is going to have some other weapons to bring together. So I'm excited. We're gonna have I think we're gonna have the dog kind of mentality that we're looking for from was it 94 feet? From the time somebody take the ball out to the time you come down low, we got something for you. Oh, I love that. I love that. So let's do this. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and talk about the young men that have decided to see if they can be part of the Dream Factory. Let's come back after the music plays a little bit here.
Hey, me, you bad, baby.
Talking out the side of our necks. That's probably the name of That's probably the name of our episode there.
Oh, man.
So
Before you get started, I got to give you some more love, man. Like
what's up,
last
man?
episode, I wanted to shout y'all out because I'm just so impressed with what y'all bring to the table to make this
Yeah,
happen. And,
yeah.
and right now, Be Smooth, you giving me Don Cornelius vibes.
Oh man.
Why? Why? Because you star, produce, and host.
Hey man. I'm just here for love, peace, and soul.
Now you can't be mad because that's a Chicago reference to that.
I'm not mad, brother. I actually anticipated you making another Chicago reference today. So shout out to Harold's Chicken. I'm just saying.
That's what's up.
That's what we're doing. So Chip, thank you for getting us excited about the young ladies that are coming to the program. Coach Ty Grace is continuing to build her a championship program, brick by brick, player by player. And sounds like we are reloading, which is exactly what you want to hear when you're a fan of the program.
And shout
Yes,
out
sir.
to Coach Grace for the extension that she got.
Yes,
Oh,
Which is
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
keep her.
absolutely, absolutely.
Hey,
Ron
so
J.
Yeah,
brick by
yeah,
brick.
she's
So congratulations, Coach Grace.
yeah. I love that. I love that. So let's see if we can switch over and learn a little bit about the young men who've decided to come. You want to do shortest to tallest, tallest to shortest? I mean, you had a rhythm there. What you want to do?
Yeah, look, we go with the shorties, shortest to tallest.
Let's do it. So the shortest would be what? BJ Powell.
BJ.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
And I'm starting to wonder if Coach Blakeney's got a southpaw trans, because this is another lefty. Like he might have a starting five of all southpaws. Like
Oh, wow. I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
yeah. So a southpaw BJ Powell, and I guess he's kind of he's been around from, I guess, Illinois. He played a
Yep.
little bit of high school ball in Illinois, and then also in Carolina. So he said he likes to pattern his game after a combination of Chris Paul and Steph Curry. As you say, comparison might be the thief of joy, but I like the oomph. I mean,
okay. They're certainly do work for role models. That's for doggone shit.
Yeah. So he's very, very shifty and crafty guard, and I guess I'll continue down the comparison model. Brian, you're gonna appreciate this.
Don't do it.
See.
Don't do it.
It's coming.
Don't
it's
do
coming.
it. Don't.
He said, "Don't steal his joy."
Dare I say it, but I see a young Elijah Hawkins.
Oh, he did it.
I see a young Elijah Hawkins in this young man. He's very, very crafty, very shifty, good vision with the ball. He's short, 6 feet. Like hey. BJ, you're gonna be your own man when you get here, but
you gotta have him. Hey, come on, man. That's so it's like calling that's good on a birdie putt before it goes in, bro. You got me.
So, like I said, very, very quick, very
all
quick
right.
and short, crafty guard. I think he's gonna slide in well, because we haven't really had that,
We haven't in a while.
Elijah,
Since Elijah. We've been going out in the transfer portal trying to find guards that are a little more senior, a little more seasoned, and it'd be exciting to have a point guard to come straight in as a freshman and can compete for the starting job. That would bode well for us on a number of ways, because as you were saying about the size with the women, having a quick point guard usually is the sign of somebody who wants to go make a deep run in any tournament, especially the March Madness tournament. If we got a guard that can be shifty, crafty, that's what we want. We want somebody
and Brian,
who can help push through.
You and I have talked about this a lot. I mean, I think I was a fan of the hockey shift kind of 10-man rotation when I first saw it. And so what I kind of see with BJ Powell II is, because we already have Isaiah Brown, who he's injured right now, but that's the point guard who's currently on the roster that he was a teammate of Dylan Harper. And he definitely has a great point guard mentality and set. And so I could see kind of a hockey shift, like if let's say if Zay Brown is starting And then your second 5, you bring in BJ Powell as the guard, in that second unit. We might not lose anything with that, two kind of crafty, scoring, good vision point guards. I see the rebirth or the continuation of the hockey shift 10-man rotation where there's no drop off between the first 5 and the second 5. So that's kind of the vision that I see with BJ Powell the second.
But I tell you what, man, what's exciting about the promise of a BJ Powell the second and having the ability to have a much deeper rotation. One of the things I mentioned in some previous episodes here was the number 10, right? If we got somebody who can handle the ball and get us under 10 turnovers a game, that's our winning formula. We can shoot, we can rebound, we play a little bit of defense, right? But if we can keep the turnovers down, that puts us, in the back pocket. So any guards who can handle the rock, especially when the scouting report is that pressure us and we may give you the ball free of charge. And so we want to have somebody who doesn't put us in harm's way by doing that. So I'm excited about it. I think the other thing with BJ, just to add to what you shared, which is excellent analysis, brother. You always do a good job of getting us more excited about these kids than maybe we see on the surface. But his ability to compete in multiple places around the country, he seems like he may be more ready than we think because he's playing against different styles of ball. You think about Midwest ball versus some of this Carolina ball. It's a little more run and gun down here versus some hard nosed kind of set the pick and see what happens kind of ball in the Midwest. So the fact that he can thrive in multiple sets, I think that puts us in a unique position to value somebody who comes in with that diverse of a pedigree. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I want to say, I'm checking my notes because I think he started as a freshman on varsity,
right? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying he's used to paying up. He's playing up all the time. Yeah. I love it. So let's keep going, man, because that was the shorty on the list, and he's 6 feet, so I'm feeling good about this list.
Right.
We need a little more size. We need a little more size. So who do you have next in your lineup?
I guess next we got Jeremiah Johnson out of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, right? Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah.
So he's 6'3". He's a little light. The last weight that I saw, I think he was about 150. But he's quick.
That's what I had down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's quick.
So he's quick. And
so you say he's not. You say he's not a people. He's not a people mover. He's not a people mover.
Okay. Well, Wimbaya's thin too, though. So
yeah,
excellent point.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, look, KD is thin.
Yeah, and old boy for OKC from Gonzaga.
Oh yeah, Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren.
So hey,
shout out Steve Settles, since we're going back to the old school.
I had that on my notes, so from my comparison, I was like, frame wise, kind of reminds me of Steve Settles.
Yeah.
But hey, Steve got it in when he was here.
He did.
So
he did. I think that actually bodes well. It does tell me that, to your point of, if we can get back to those hockey rotations, he could give us a spark where we need it, because he can move. And I know the links you sent to me made it exciting to see that he absolutely seems to have really good ball handling skills, passing, plays good, plays decent defense in terms of making sure, he can get in front of folks even though he's small. Yeah. And I think the fun part is that for me, the fact that he's, again, somebody who may not turn the ball over because he can see the court better than most folks, he gives us a chance to get that number below 10 when it comes to turnover. So excited about that for sure.
Yeah. And I believe he, from a pedigree standpoint, and I remember the Bulls kind of used to have this back in the Kirk Heinrich days, but he won a Division I state championship. So, it doesn't hurt to bring in winners, people that know how to win at a championship level. So I appreciate that level of experience, just kind of like with Ariel when we talked about from the lady side. Like, you got somebody used to,
Yeah.
hey, I'm always in the big game.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice just when you step up to the next level. So
And that's six
I like
three.
that.
6'3".
6'3".
6'3", 6'3",
But
buck
he
50.
plays backcourt only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah,
spots, just one spot.
yeah, get it.
I believe it's mainly the point guard. I think
Okay.
believe mainly the one.
Okay.
Yep,
So
yep. Good handles, and like I said, he, as you said in your notes to show notes before the call here, he has opportunity to work on his shot, so he'll be a threat. So right now, he may not be the guy you stick
Oh,
too hard.
oh,
So he,
there's another good for basketball right there. I like that.
there you go,
mm-hmm,
there you go.
He
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
if he can add some offensive threat, he would spread the floor a little bit and give some of the bigs some chance to move. Because right now, you can play off of him a little bit if he doesn't, have a confident shot. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
he has an opportunity to be pretty strong for the program.
And I think in terms of the Coach Blakeney player profile, which if we get him on the program, I definitely kind of want to ask him like, what does he look for when
Mm,
he is recruiting players? But I like that Jeremiah said he wanted to live a life of purpose while
mm,
excelling in basketball and academics. And so while I
Mhm.
guess as to the type of player that Coach Blakeney likes, he seems to fit right in, with the Dream Factory, the emphasis on social justice and,
mm,
your truth and service and the academic,
mm-hmm.
institution. It's like he slides right in that mode. So pretty
He
excited
sounds
about
like
that.
he sounds like a Howard man to me. I'm just saying. I just
All right, all right, all right.
if I didn't hear any more, I'd be like, yeah, it sounds like somebody who should be at Howard. So
Yeah.
shout out to Howard University, training for leadership. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do. I love that. I love that, man. Okay, so let's keep it going. We got a couple more guys here. They're a little bit bigger than 6'3" and a little bit more size than 150. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So
Okay.
this
All
next one, I
right.
think Eric's gonna really like this guy. So he's
Mm.
out of Philly. Eric's got a Philly
Yes,
penchant.
yes.
And so this guy's 6'6", 210, and he's a grad transfer. So
Hmm.
Mm.
he already, he's coming in from Penn, University of Pennsylvania. And that is it's a ripe area of basketball. We know that the East Coast is a good
That's right.
basketball place. Being 6'6", 210 and already a grad transfer, I don't see a lot of, you got to wait to work him in and,
Mm-hmm.
or, hope that he develops. He's already been through, Division I level competition. He's got, he's very good in the paint. He really uses his muscle. He kind of reminds me, again, comparison, the Thief of Joy, but I see some Bryce Harris, kind of a hybrid of
Okay.
Bryce Harris. And there's the
Okay.
other player that we had from Penn, which is Jelani Williams. And
Jelani. Yeah.
so,
Oh wow.
yeah. And
Okay.
so, Eric, now
Yeah.
this is the point for you that I think you're going to like is he went to the same high school as Hakeem Warwick and DeAndre Hunter. So,
Oh. Oh, I see.
yes.
I see you over there, my man.
Yeah.
I see you. Okay.
But, yeah,
Hey.
he should already have the body strength to play that kind of hybrid Bryce Harris, Jelani Williams role in the paint and likely the leadership qualities to come in as a grad student
Okay.
and make an impact. So again, 6'6", 210. I'm ready. I'm ready to see that in the
All right.
MEAC. So
All right.
You like that, E? You like that
Oh,
one, right?
oh man, I can't wait to get to good for basketball on this
Well,
one.
I tell you what, man. Shout out to Jelani. He was actually instrumental in that now historic, run back to the tournament. He actually helped us, overcome a interesting deficit against Norfolk State. Shout out to the haters in Norfolk, Virginia, for allowing us to, come into your house and kind of steal a championship. So he was instrumental. And I was going to say that our track record with the grad students coming out of the Ivy League has been pretty strong. We actually had a number of guys who've come through. Jelani's probably the most notable since he was coming back home to DC. Another DMV guy that decided to come on back home and see if he could keep his career going after some devastating injuries while he was at UPenn. So the fact is that it's because of the network that Kenneth Blakeney enjoys. Shout out to KB for having a strong Duke network so that he can kind of have those kids that are playing for Tommy Amaker and others in the Ivy League. When they wrap up, they can come down and finish some eligibility at Howard and get their grad degrees at the same time. So I was excited. I was excited about this transfer. He threw me off for a minute because I said, "Man, he look old for a high school guy." And then I said, "Oh, okay, I got it." I said, "Man, what they feeding him in Philly? Man, he must be eating Philly cheesesteaks every day because he looked like a grown man out there."
As Chip
So,
said,
but
Philly is definitely a basketball capital. You know, one of the all-time greats, Wilt Chamberlain's from Philly, Earl Monroe's from Philly. You can't go wrong with a Philly ball player, that's for sure. Jelly Bean
that's
Bryant, Kobe, I could go on and on, but yeah, Philly, no doubt, man. Good
I
to see
love
that.
it. I love it. Shout out to the Philly legends. For sure, for sure. So that leaves us with one more, right? Is that Big Julian, Big JJ?
Hailing from your neck of the woods, Be Smooth, North Carolina.
Ooh, represent.
Julian Johnson at 6'9",
Oh,
200.
okay.
Hey, hey. I like a lot of his highlights were near the
Mm-hmm.
basket, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where
Oh,
he's gonna excel. So
Yeah.
if we got quality point guard play that can kind of get him in position near the basket, I think you're gonna see him thrive around the basket with that size. He probably could bulk up a little bit more, for the MEAC because the
Yeah.
MEAC starting to get kind of big in the front court.
Yeah.
mhm.
So
He'll be playing a lot more center than most kids, so he'll be able to height wise he'll be fine. I think you're right. He
yeah,
probably had to get a little more base to be able to kind of bang when he can, but he hadn't grown into his man muscles yet, as far as
right,
I'm concerned.
right.
I will tell you that his I'm impressed with his footwork around the basket. So I know in the show notes you mentioned that he probably most closely aligns with maybe Miles Stewart. Shout out to the Stewart family for producing some ballers and some diaper dandies. But
All
I
right.
think to your point, I think that what I love about the potential Julian has is that he's coming in similar to Jeremiah, where he wants to have a career with purpose, right? He doesn't want to just play ball to be playing ball. He has I mean, he's been running through the leagues down here and the AAU squads down here, and most AAU you don't see big men really thriving unless they're catching alley oops from everybody.
Right.
He's got decent handle. I think when he's on a breakaway, I would not be surprised for him to go down and poke one or two on people because they'll think he's gonna pass it because he's 6'9". Got a little handle there, but his strength is around the basket. I was trying to was the thief of joy. My comparison is, he reminds me of a very 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 young kind of Tim Duncan ish type player where if you let
Woo.
him play within six
No
to eight
pressure.
feet from the basket, hey man, I mean I'm just saying I'm watching what he does and what we don't see sometimes from our big men in the MEAC, not just at Howard, is a comfort level with being able to play with your back to the basket and to face up. And so you say
Good for
if
basketball.
you see somebody who can handle the rock, close in and they don't get all weirded out with hands, you got throwing the ball. But you know, if there's any challenge at all, it'll be just kind of bulking up as he can as he's getting is growing into his next level of growth there. I mean, shout out to the strength and training conditioning folks. He's probably he puts on just a couple of pounds. He doesn't need a whole lot. It just needs to be all muscle. But he can jump out of the gym. He can do whatever he needs to do. I think he's been playing really solid ball for the last several years, and his teams have been relatively competitive too. So he's not playing down at all. But I think his excitement about being at Howard, he wants to be at Howard. I think that's what I want to make sure I stress here. He definitely wanted to be there. So to have him be able to go to the school he wants to be at, I actually expect him to show more because he'll be where he really thinks he can thrive. So, you know, I think to your point, Chip, if he can, be part of some rotation early, we'll see him catch a flame early. I think that's my challenge to Coach KB. Shout out, Coach. If you can see how to get the young guys playing earlier, you'll see what you're working with, and maybe we can get some excitement around who's around more than one season or two. we're fighting against the transfer portal like every other school. So we'll see. I'm excited, but yeah, that's a big man that's got some handles a little bit, so I won't feel nervous throwing the ball into him. And
Mhm.
if he does what he's supposed to do, maybe he can be him and Blake could do some stuff. Just saying.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
I dare to dream, that's what I'm
Hey,
talking about.
hey,
Yeah. Okay.
hey.
You gotta have some vision, right? You gotta have some vision.
Oh, you gotta have it,
Where there
man.
is no vision, the program
The
perishes, right?
program perishes. Yes,
That's
sir.
it. Well, I tell you what, and this is me just dreaming about a potential matchup nightmare, is if we can get BJ Powell and my man Julian to run some pick and roll.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
If we could
Yes.
just get him to run some pick and roll in the last 4 minutes of the game, where you gotta figure out how you're gonna stop it, because you stop one, the other one's gonna be doing what they do. I'm just saying that was one of those dreamy matchups to say, if we have that as an option to go to, it's gonna be hard to shut us down. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
ooh,
All
so,
right.
Yeah.
mm,
Right.
And I think
yes.
it continues to raise kind of our athleticism
Mhm.
profile. So
Mhm.
a lot of these guys are above the rim. Like I said, with the point guards being quick and crafty and shifty, and you got your big men flying across the rim. I I'm liking to see that growth of athleticism up and down the roster. So
I love it. I love it. All right. So, man, this is awesome, Chip. I know I wanted to
Yeah.
to take a quick break, and we'll come back and
Excellent
do
job.
some.
Excellent job, Chip
Yeah,
Washington.
great work, and we'll come back with some over under reactions, a little bit of what's good for basketball, and then we'll close out today in this special episode, kind of looking at the future of the both programs. All right, so
All
we'll
right.
be right back. We'll be right back. Oh, welcome back, welcome back to the Bison Brothers Basketball Podcast. This is B Smooth. I'm here with E Wash and my man
Yeah,
Chip
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Washington. Yeah, we are excited to dedicate a special episode to the future of both of our men and women's programs at Howard University. Shout out to the Dream Factory and the championship culture, dog mentality, and the whole crew over at Burr, trying to make sure that we continue to produce these championship squads. And like I said, we had a chance to hear about some of the signees on our men and women's program. So we're now to the favorite part of the program for us, which is what are some over and under reactions. And we'll start with you, Chip, because you got us set up with a good background analysis. Thank you for taking time to watch every clip, every video, and talk to every parent you could probably find.
Absolutely. Very
and,
impressive.
and I'll let you know that my overreaction actually developed during this episode.
Okay.
So my
Okay.
overreaction is going to be you're going to see at least 3 alley oops per
Oh,
game with our point guard and big man connections next
okay.
year.
Okay.
Athleticism profile being raised. We don't
Okay.
get that a lot. We don't get that a lot with our team. So
Oh, all
at
right.
least 3 alley oops a
All right.
game.
I'm drinking some You got me drinking some Kool-Aid over here, man.
I love that. I like that, Chip. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
man.
You got any overreactions after listening?
Oh, shoot. Don't underreact to Chips overreaction. Shoot, that's all I got. I ain't nothing else to say.
Wow, wow. I'll try to balance it, because I agree with you, Chip. I do think that we're getting a level of youth and athleticism that gives us a different nucleus than we've had in the last couple of seasons, where with Bryce and Dockery and a few folks that were younger when they connected, we did benefit from having a younger core that we could build around. This becomes potentially a core we could build around if we continue down the path of trying to be competitive with all the portal opportunities out there. My underreaction, and this is probably because it does feel like a bit of a homer, Captain Obvious, is with the women that have decided to come to the program. I actually believe that we should remain favorites to win the MEAC for the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Especially if we have somebody who comes in and can at least give us a reasonable production like Destiny was able to do. Even she came in her freshman year and was able to kind of ball out for her. She was ready for the next level. If we have anybody who's even close to that, we reload and we say let's play for the chip every year. And I think the only overreaction I'll add to that, because it's underreaction, my overreaction is I think we'll have competition for rookie of the week. I think it won't be one person every week. I think we'll have multiple rookies of the week because we have that kind of group coming in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. I'm peeping the erudition and that assessment. Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm excited for the program. I'm excited for the athleticism. I think you got me putting my pencil down so I can make sure I follow Jada Kendrick because you said she's a people mover. So I gotta see that. I wanna get the shirt. I'm gonna go to the game. I'm gonna be like people mover. That's what we do.
Hey, look, Eric, she's in Georgia, so we like I said, we figure out how close
You
she is,
already
then we go
you
down.
already put on my to-do list. So yeah, no doubt.
I
Man.
love it.
I'm trying to check that out.
I love it. Okay, so E, what's good for basketball, man?
Oh man, y'all got me all in my feelings again. I said I want to go return to that posture, but oh my God. So, last episode I mentioned to you guys that I rewatched uh Best of Enemies, right?
Yeah.
And it put me in so many different frames of mind. But the thing I can't believe I'm about to do this, Chip. It's some revisionist history on my part, but I gotta go hard in my love for the Boston Celtics and Red Auerbach. Yes, yes.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't.
Yeah, me neither.
And when I say it, sometimes neither can I. But here's the reason. And I even got a nice little story for it afterwards. But the reason I asked, Chip, the beauty, and you too actually be that was brought out to me in discussing all these signees. I liked your setup, Brian, one about how would they fit into the program, just kind of based on Chip laying out their profile. And the thing that keeps jumping out is, especially about the Celtics, is they were the progenitors, at least historically speaking, of fast break basketball. Red Auerbach, and that's even before Bill Russell. Bob Cousy, was somebody that allowed them to play that style, especially compared to most of their peers at the time. And then once they got Bill Russell, well, literally the rest was history, right? So to see basketball change, based on that style of play was awesome, right? But to go in my Red Auerbach bag to then turn around and see him completely change styles with Bird, Parrish, and McHale and play half-court basketball, and I'm sorry, Laker people, to change basketball again and win again. So that's just impressive, and that's all I kind of kept looking at, and that sort of directed most of my questions. Because you can't run if you can't rebound, right? You mentioned the first young lady from Chicago in terms of, so in my mind, I'm like, well, can she run the break and play half court? Because I don't, to your point, Brian, I haven't seen a lot of the women's games, but I hadn't noticed a lot of fast breaking, and I'm like, yeah, if that's something they could sort of consistently incorporate, that's a way for them to set themselves apart consistently. So
I love it.
that's just an awesome thing. And to try to give the Lakers a little love, you know, to give them a little love, you have to say that they kind of did the same things, right? Why were they able to play half court? Because of obviously Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but to be able to run the floor like that, and and sort of a nod to the modern game, to have people like Michael Cooper and Byron Scott consistently banging from 3-point land, you
Mm.
know,
Mm.
that means they can play any style, any era. And that's what we want to see from Bison basketball, obviously. We want to,
Oh yeah,
that's championship basketball right there, since we talk
I
about
love it.
championship culture, so yeah, man, I just it definitely put that in my frame of mind. And I unfortunately had to learn a little bit of a hard lesson. I have to make a little reveal here too, because y'all know I'm living in Atlanta right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely a Howard Bison through and through. But I did also go to Morehouse College, and the only reason I'm mentioning that is because the Hawks would practice at Morehouse. The opponent would practice at Morehouse when they came in town. So I
Hmm.
walked in the gym one day, and who was sitting there but Red Auerbach?
Wow.
So I actually got to sit down. He humored me. I don't know where I got the audacity to try to talk junk and basketball to him, and of course I lost that one. But it's something that I will never forget. And to even bring it to a DC moment, I remember being in DC and seeing him driving a Mercedes Benz with Washington DC tags. Because people don't
Mm.
know he's from Washington DC. He's a
Wow.
DMV person himself. So
Wow. Look at
got,
you.
got a little love to Red Auerbach, man. First black coach, all that, man. You got to give him some love.
I'm 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 impressed. Yeah, I didn't see you go in there, and you did it again. You're like Columbo. You just keep pulling these clues out. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey guys, this was fun, man. I think that we hopefully, as you're listening, you're hearing that our love for basketball isn't just moment by moment or game by game. We're looking ahead just like anyone else, and I think the less we know, the more we dream. And so this is kind of fun to see how we can hopefully get you excited with us as we think about the possibilities of our program continuing to be competitive and shooting for championships, especially as we play in the MEAC and tend to want to beat everybody we can. Shout out to all the competitors. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of billboard opportunity so you can know that we're coming. We're coming. We ain't hard to find, like Dion would say. We ain't hard to find.
Okay,
We ain't hard to find. We ain't hard to
okay.
find. We ain't hard to find. So with that, thank you for joining us again. We love the fact that you're on this journey with us. We're just a couple of Bison brothers
Yeah.
who love basketball, and hopefully you can join us in building your fanhood and bringing your friends along as well. So as we like to do, Chip, can you close us out today, brother?
No doubt, no doubt. So continue, everybody, to share the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, hit the like button, throw your comments in there, and donate to the Mecca Society, Howard's NIL Collective, donate to the athletic department through hubison.com. So you got the Mecca Society at the meccasociety.org, you got hubison.com. Continue to donate so we can continue to build this championship culture, continue to build the dream factory, and we're going to watch this program grow exponentially. To that, I just say, HU.
You know.
know.